So I'm Scott Martin. I work for Diversus Health. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the organization in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So we were a Lean Six Sigma environment, if you will, still are, but we wanted to kind of elevate our game a little bit too. So what the board of directors had done was elevate my position, used to be a vice president position, to a CIO position. To kind of elevate the technology and some of our strategic pieces need to evolve, not only around IT, but better project management, portfolio management piece. New leadership teams come in, right? And we've embraced the digital piece of this because data drives all our decision makings now and going forward. So there's a key element on getting how we measure our project success, as well as the data for our outcomes, not only for us, but for our patients as well. But what was kind of new to us and kind of, I guess, glaring that we needed was how do we measure the success of our projects and our strategic piece? When I had kind of come in, which is late towards the last fiscal year, I was like, okay, here's our strategic plan. How are we measuring how we did good, bad, and what we did bad, how are we going to get better at it? And we didn't have a great answer, right? Just because of some of the executive turnover, some people, were kind of filling in some slides. So for better, for worse, when I came up was, well, how are we going to measure this? I was like, well, let's use OKRs. I'm a tech guy. We'll use the stuff that Google invented, right? So everybody liked it. They liked at least the simplicity of it, as you could measure it each quarter. You could change directions. It was easy to understand for maybe some people. It was less strategic than others, if you will. So tag I met, I get to go and implement a new strategy for the organization piece. And although we are still building those muscles to get better at it, people do see, hey, we can measure how well we did this quarter. Do we need to change our direction this quarter? Is something happening with the state or in the industry, whatever? And it allows us to give us a bit more agility for the strategic pieces coming down the pipe. So a lot of programs out there, and there are a bunch of good ones out there, tailored to maybe, I won't say necessarily an industry, but let's just say in my past we did a lot of software development. Azure DevOps may used to be the only thing that you needed for that, right? You didn't really have any other types of projects. Maybe the new thing with I had to address here is we could have a project maybe waterfall, right? We may have some IT projects that are agile. RC is a master black belt in the Six Sigma, so we could have a lot of Six Sigma projects out there as well. And the methodology being used to implement the project is not as important as to give me your results and how we're reporting and how are we doing it, right? So I want to make sure all the people that are comfortable with whatever project methodology they want to use can still use one tool where we can report on everything, if you will, because some methodologies work better than other solutions and some don't. The flexibility and agility to use those is why OnePlan, I guess, was a big plus for us. Plus, we're a Microsoft shop. We're doing a lot of integrations with Teams, Power Apps, Power BI. So those integrations are very important already out of the box they had. We just had to kind of connect the two dots, if you will. We were able to successfully use the tool to go in there and define our key results and our objectives based off the goals with our board of directors. And we were able to measure those the past 2 quarters. We just entered our third, of course. And we did see success from one quarter to one as far as we did our measurements with OKRs. So we're mostly using on the strategic piece. The portfolio is coming around to that as we get some more staff in and get them trained on the processes and the tool itself. So our biggest measurement was there, seeing some strategic results from those past 2 quarters and able to measure those. What the application does allow us to do is there's a reporting structure that's in with our Power BI infrastructure already. So not that we're adding one more report to it, but we can see the OKR results, and we share that with the organization as well to say, hey, this is how good or bad we're doing, provide your feedback, and gotten some positive results from other levels of the organization. So success to me is more of a team approach. I'm the CIO, so teamwork is very important to me, especially in all the disciplines we have up underneath me. Success is temporary, right? Because you can measure, hey, we got these key results or these objectives, but there's always something coming behind them, if you will. And you have your individual successes. People get certified or obtain one of their goals, right? And that's a success from that piece. But we try to do more of a cerebral type of methodology to where, hey, team success is better individual success. So as a team, are we getting, or from an organization, are you getting to where we need to be in 6 months, a year, 2 years, right? That's what it kind of means to me. A little bit different from others, but overall, team success for me is more important than individual success. What it does allow is for all levels of organization to kind of say, hey, we see what you're doing, that makes sense why you want to do this particular key result and how it goes up to the objectives, if you will. And we're still doing the laddering piece right there, as well as the cascading. But at least people can start seeing, hey, this is how my work affects one of our strategic objectives. Some do and some don't. But at least give some clarity throughout the organization. Because I think when a lot of hybrid work has come out, people are disconnected. Where's my work going for? Am I just here? Where's the involvement with that? So we're truly trying to kind of establish that culture that we want to include everybody no matter where you're working out of. And your work matters in these particular areas, whether it be an objective or a key result, that we can measure from their success. So we did our implementation, and I was the lead, I'll say the project expert going into it. But they did a good job with my team, who was mostly on the technical side, not really on the project management piece, to kind of go through all the configurations, and it was very customizable for us. The team, and I guess we had some training and implementation personnel, kind of worked very well with us. We're available almost all the time to jump on a call. Hey, how does this work? I want to make this change. How do we do these pieces? And we're really kind of forefront and kind of helping us go along the journey. But one of the things that support has done for us has actually been there is like, how does this work? How you were intended to this? And they've been really good with the team to say, hey, this is how this particular works. This is how your Power BI report integrates in here. So all overall, they've done a wonderful job of our support. So the portfolio is very important for us. The one-offs, the projects that kind of go in a department, really sometimes have struggled to go up to the strategic level, right? Kind of stay isolated in those. The portfolio piece kind of lets everybody see how we're doing across the industry and all of our, or I'll say across the organization. In all of the disciplines. How are we doing in IT versus, I'll say, a clinical project or an operations project, right? So we get a good snapshot from the executive level about, hey, do we need more resources here? Is this not working very well? Should we have even done this one, right? That portfolio view is very helpful for us too. And even as we're using our prioritization, one of the things we did with our portfolio this year was we did prioritization scoring. It's a new skill for the organization. Went through all of our projects and gave them a particular score on the strategic value for the organization. With that, we can kind of better isolate which projects we should be doing first versus the one that maybe seem important but strategically aren't the most important out there for us. The word of wisdom there is don't bite off too much too quickly. It's okay to go a little bit slow, especially if you're doing any type of change management in your organization too. Sometimes that change can be a little bit hard to swallow. So take that into account on the implementation and getting the new features up and going.